I'm going to go over today is pH, GDV, ORP, sprout growth, OH intensity, Raman, and UV, if we have time. Next slide. Okay. So let me give you a visual. So we go down to Safeway, and we see what bottled waters are on sale. And we go, oh, OK, Aquafina. And we take Aquafina water. In this case, we took Evian, Calistoga, Dasani, and Aquafina. And we split them apart, and we put some of those bottles, unopened, in this orange box field. And I'll explain a little bit more about that later. There's Bob. Hi, Bob. And then we look at what's happened. We look at what is happening and what has happened. So by the way, we put the bottled waters in the orange box for about 30, 40, 50 hours, depending upon different variables. So here, and this was published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine, which, by the way, I want to point out we're privileged to have the senior editor, Dr. Kim Jobst, here today for this journal. This is a very important journal for all of us. Where's Kim? There you are. Thank you for showing up here. And the results, basically, I won't go over each one, but do we all know what pH is, right? The potential of hydrogen. And the higher the pH, the more alkaline the water is, the more acidic. And so I think I'm speaking to the choir here about the significance. But what I think is so amazing is that we just take it right out of Safeway, put it in the field, and the potential of hydrogen goes up. That's pH. And ORP. Does anybody not know what ORP is? Oxidation reductive potential. And that basically means that in a higher ORP environment, there's a greater capacity for electrons to act as antioxidants in the body. Okay? So we see here that ORP, the higher the ORP, the less electrons are available to act as antioxidants in the water. That's right. Excuse me for that. So here's the Evian, Calistoga, Dasani, Aquafina, and there's the ORP over there. And you see, put them in the field, and the ORP goes down. 58%, 52, et cetera, Pretty cool. The RH2 is just ORP in a specific pH environment. So cool. So now we just take something that's been gone through all the different processes and whatever, it winds up at Safeway, we put it in. ORP is improved, pH is improved, so it might mean something. Next slide. Okay, Yuri talked about GDV. Oh, next slide. So we took Calistoga, Evian water, Fiji, Trinity. There's two kinds of Trinities. We took both of them. I believe one was in glass. And we did the same thing, put it in the orange box field. And this was the statement. So I wanted to read this because this is hot off the press. A variety of glow patterns was observed as each type of water with its unique mineral content. Every bottled water has a different mineral content, starting with distilled, which has no minerals. Content processing, et cetera, yields a distinct pattern in the GDV grams. SRT, our technology, did not change the essential glow pattern of each type of water, but rather it was found to enhance it to various degrees. So after 45 hours of treatment with sympathetic resonance technology, it was found to energize each of the 5 drinking waters. Evian was the most influenced, Calistoga the least. The range goes from 4 to 212% with an average of 55% increase in glow area. The glow area is the most obvious parameter associated with the level of subtle energy in bioscience. This is Beverly Rubik, by the way, Dr. Rubik. Distilled water, which is lifeless, does not support, for example, microbial life, has an extremely small glow area, not shown. By contrast, natural mineral waters, such as these, show considerably larger areas of light emission, and these waters naturally support microbial life. SRT enhances the subtle energy properties of the drinking water as demonstrated by the GDV technique for assessing subtle energy patterns. The results suggest SRT may make these drinking waters more life-supporting. Next slide. So here's an example from the Evian slides. Okay, next slide. Okay, now we're going to move to a different area of science. Looking at, oh, this is biology. I thought we were going to jump. Okay, so next slide. This literally came in this morning at 10 o'clock. That's why I'm a little rusty with this presentation, because, you know, I'll have the data to you in plenty of time, Robert, don't worry. I missed this morning because of the FedEx and all this stuff. But I'm here with everything. So we took, again, scenario, go to Safeway, see what's on sale, take the water. Actually, in this case, we took Aquafina, and I'll come to why we chose Aquafina water. We separate the two. We keep the unprocessed or the untreated away. We take the Aquafina, we put it in the orange box for 30 or 40 hours, and then we send it to Beverly's lab. This was a double-blind test, and each dish was put in Mu metal, and there was all kinds of controls set up. And so the SRT water, which you didn't know, of course, was poured in, and the unprocessed water, regular Aquafina. And then what happened, as is stated here, it is evident from these samples that there is a measurable biophysical effect from a measurable increase in both weight and dry weight in these germinated seeds. This distinction becomes apparent in 4 days at 2.2% difference, 6 days 4.6% difference, and 8 days 8.5% difference. Next slide. So you can see there, you can see that they start off, she didn't measure here, about the same, and then, so what's happening again? Water, Aquafina, which is not very good water, and it's now got something in it, this test doesn't say what, that is enhancing the growth and the health of sprouts. So what's happening here? What is in the water? What is it, just the pH change? Is it the ORP? But one thing is for certain, that it continues to show up as an effect that seems to be more life-supporting, more supporting our human condition and our ecological condition of life. So I'm going to get to why this is so fascinating, if you are not fascinated already. Next slide. So now we get to Penn State.